You're a bit of a racing man, is that right?
Yeah, obviously when you're injured you get to go to a lot more meetings. The Saturday, Sunday meetings are generally the best meetings, so looking forward to Sunday the 9th, and it should be a good day.
As you say, you've a bit more time to go around watching the racing since you've been injured. Tell us a little bit about where you are and when we can see you. We're going to see you back on the pitch.
Yeah, I've had six weeks now and 2 days since my operation, so probably looking at another 6 weeks before I'm back in training. Probably 4 or 5 weeks back in training, and then hopefully back in action in the next 6 to 7, 8 weeks.
Just tell us a little bit about what it was, because it was something that was lingering for a while.
Yeah, I've had a few groin problems and stuff like that, and it gets better for a while, and then it gets sore again. So it was a matter of trying to get to the bottom of it, and I went to see a hip specialist, and he tells me I have an impingement, which was a bit of bone on bone to a certain degree, and I've had a bit of bone shaved off my hip, and it's getting there now.
What's the outlook then for you? I mean, you obviously were such a key part of the Irish squad and playing at the very highest level for so long. Do you think the stage of your career you are now, that there's a few years left in you to really get back to your best form?
Yeah, I'm working extremely hard. I don't think I've ever worked as hard in the gym and stuff like that. I pick and choose my days where I can have off, because you want to make the most of it, because you don't get weekends off sometimes. So I think the next couple of years are going to be vital for me. I'm basically heartbroken for the Euros, to be honest, and so was a lot of the squad. So still things to do and goals to reach.
Do some of those goals involve getting back into the Irish squad?
Listen, I want to be starting for the Sweden game away. That's my plan. That was my aim. It's something that people might think it might be a bit too close, or it might never happen again. But in my eyes, I'll be starting against Sweden, and that's the goal I want to have, and that's what I'll aim to. Every day in the gym, I'm working hard, and that's what I'm aiming for.
You mentioned that you were heartbroken for the Euros, and the lads were in general. There seems to be having been a bit of a hangover from that in the recent results. I guess you speak to the lads. What's the general moods after what happened over the last few months?
Yeah, I think it was always going to be difficult to pick ourselves up straight away after that. I think it takes a problem with international football is you don't have many games to get over. With club level, you have a game the next week or whatever, and international football you have to wait, and then they only come 1 or 2 games at a time, and it's difficult. So it's taken us a while to get over it. I think I haven't been involved, but from what I can gather, the squad begin to get re-energised again and refocused, and hopefully they'll do a good job now coming up.
The big question, I guess, that came after that, I mean, that terrible result against Germany, and they obviously bounced back against the Faroes, but the manager's position was in serious question, and the association stuck with him. Yep. What's your own take on that? Was that the correct decision?
Yeah, correct decision. Listen, I think it's a results-based game. The way the present moment is financially and stuff like that, you have to win games to qualify for tournaments and make money, and we've done that the last time. I think financially he'd have done a good job for the FAI in terms of what he's achieved. And he's brought back some good times as well. Obviously the Euros was a disappointment. It's put him under pressure, but I think he's used to it. I think he's been around the block a few times, and I think he's well able to deal with the media pressure to a certain degree, and so are the players by now.
Yeah, he certainly handled it very well. The FAI had a few things that they wanted him to improve on, yep, with communication with the players and all that sort of area. Was that something that you can say, okay, fair enough, and maybe there is room for improvement there?
Yeah, I would think in terms of how he's gone about his job, he's ruthless. He has brought me on in every game, or played me in every game for the last 4 or 5 years leading up to the Euros. And the 3 games, we went behind in all 3 games, and he, in his eyes, didn't see me as a player to come on and get back the game, win the game back, which obviously I disagree with. But he's ruthless, so he'll do things his way, and he'll get the results. And he doesn't care. He's top professional when it comes to that. I'm sure. I know he likes me as a person, and we get on well and stuff like that, but I still didn't drag him around to bring me on. I disagree with it, but we'll crack on and hopefully work together in the future. And
has he given you any inkling as to the fact that, look, if you get back to your fitness, get your fitness back, get back to your best, that you will be in his plans? Yeah,
he did. At the end of the Euros, he was talking to me about the situation and why I didn't play. So he does communicate that way. I got back to pre-season pretty late, and with the Euros and stuff like that, and I knew it wasn't right after having the break and getting back. And he's clever enough to see it, you know. I mean, he can see things, and he might be getting old now to a certain degree, but he was clever enough to see that I wasn't 100% right for the start of this year, and he didn't pick me. He's the most ruthless man I know in terms of management, and that's probably why he's been successful.
I want to talk to you about one of your old former teammates in club level and his current teammates at international level, and a good friend of yours who's in great form at the moment is Shane Long. Yeah. Everyone in Ireland so delighted for what he's doing. He seems to be really taking certainly Premier League by storm this year. How do you rate the season he's having so far, and where do you put him in the sort of the rankings of strikers in that league?
Tell you what, at the moment he's probably up the top 2 or 3 at the moment. His form, his maturity more so than anything else. He's leading the line by himself. The manager probably takes great credit as well. He's stuck by him. He has a striker there, I think, on loan from Chelsea that he could have stuck in the two of them up front, but because both of them are playing well, he's stuck with Shane. It says it in itself. I think he's going to be attracting interest from top clubs in the next 2 or 3 months leading up to January, and he's well capable of doing it. He's matured as a person. He doesn't live too far away from me. In terms of 2 or 3 years ago, I could have said to you I wasn't too sure which way he was going to go. If he didn't get out of his hurling way to a certain degree, he would have continued to play in the lower leagues, but he's matured as a person, and as a player he's been very good, so long may it continue for him.
You say he get out of his hurling way. Do you think he was a bit rougher on the edges when he came to the football first?
Of course he was. He was first 2 or 3 years, and even, you might not like saying it, but in terms of attitude towards the game and stuff like that, he was always a keen worker and stuff like that, but you have to be switched on with your brain and use it in the right way, and he seems to have got that off to a tee now, and he's got all the right ingredients around him. He's settled at home. He's a little kid the same age as mine. They pal around together, go to the same nursery and stuff like that. He has his mum, who's his biggest fan, follows him around, and even that, I'll be honest with you, 2 or 3 years ago I might have questioned even now, but it's working for him. His mum's with him now and stuff like that, and doesn't live in the same house, but lives close by, and they seem to get on very well. So it's a great relationship they have, and fair play to him.
He had a little bit of a run in himself with the international manager, and Trapp didn't seem to be 100% sure about that he was the number one man. Do you think Shane should really be top of the pecking order international wise as well?
Difficult to say, really. I think you have 3 or 4 good strikers that have been in front of him, have been around him for the last 2 or 3 years, and I think Kevin Doyle, was maybe left out from one game and he came on and scored 2 goals. So a goal to fail to beat us, whatever he came on and scored anyway. He did a job. So he's been at number 9 for the last 2 or 3 years. It's certainly putting pressure on him and Walters, along with Robbie as well. That obviously a record goal scorer, you're gonna find it hard to move him. So, but over time, I'm sure he will. I think it's to the detriment of my brother Noel. He can't get in the squad. It's probably one of the main reasons why there's such competitiveness in the squad, and Longy will push for number 9 for sure.
Quick, you mentioned Kevin, your club teammates. Things are a little bit of a difficult period at the club at the moment. As you know, we were talking before this. They should really be with the squad they have, pushing much higher than they are. Can they do so between now and the end of the season? Yeah,
I think it's a matter of the league table won't lie at the end of the season. We have had a disappointment start. There's no getting them by it. We've been bang average in most games to a certain degree, but at the same time, we need to push on now. I think Reading were 3 points from going bottom last year when they beat Doncaster at home, so things can change very quickly in this league. But if you don't get on a run, you could find yourself in a relegation battle. So we have now till Christmas to improve our league position, to get in the mix for the start of the year, and look to push on then.
Yeah, and obviously the managers come in over the summer. It's a very different sort of management style from Mick McCarthy, who was there before. How's he adapted to the championship?
Yeah, to a certain degree, he hasn't changed his style to suit the championship. He's come in with his style, almost Trapattoni, like he'll play his way, and he won't change it, and he'll be successful by his way. Otherwise, he'll even if he left Wolves in a year's time, I don't think he'd ever change his way of playing. So that's his way. It can be successful. He's had success in the past playing that way, and at the end of the year, the proof will be in the pudding.
Finally, just on the outlook for the international scene, a couple of tough games coming in the spring with Sweden and Austria. Whether you're back in the reckoning or not, let's hope you are. What do you think the outlook is for the qualification campaign, and is there a real chance of qualifying, or is it that tough a group?
I think Germany are a machine to a certain degree. They've beaten us comfortably. I'm not saying we're not, but we're capable of beating them. We should be capable of beating the teams like that with the players we have. It's a tall ask after getting beat 6-1 by them, but anyone that knows me will always think that I'll always look on the positive side, and I think realistically we're playing for second place with Sweden. I think Ibrahimovic is on fire at the moment, but he's not on fire now. He's on fire now, but February's a long way away, so maybe it's a good thing to have him the way he is now, and hopefully come February his form will have changed.